Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Heal the Industry podcast. Today, I have a return guest, Abigail. And honestly, Abigail, I forgot to say before we even started, our last podcast that we did together is like the second most listened to podcast on Heal the Industry. Did you know that?
No, that's amazing. Oh, that makes me feel so good.
People just love what we got to say, so we just bringing them the part two.
Heck yeah, I love it. Let's keep going.
It's so cool, and it honestly, I'm so excited with today's topic. We have a surprise for you guys at the end of this episode. But I was just talking with Abigail before we started this podcast, and I was like, wouldn't it be fun to like tell people like how like this relationship began, like where it all started from? And so, well, I'll start first. I'll say like we were in, the hair industry, opposite sides of town, like way opposites, like 40 minutes away from each other.
God, I'm trying to remember. I mean, I feel like I followed you for so long, but originally I would have been like originally I was over here. I was in West Lynn, so we were close, and then I was far again. So
yeah,
I've been all over that. So pretty far at one point, pretty far. And I knew of you.
Yeah.
At that point, just from social media.
Right. Well, and like that's honestly where I first like learned about you, because I'd done education and I was just stepping in to wanting to market, and our mutual friend Katie, she was like, oh, you should follow Abigail, like she's so good at marketing, because Instagram was just making that shift to being like a social platform versus like I used to use it for like photo editing back in the day.
I used to use it just to post my coffee pictures. Like the food. Do you remember when that's like what Instagram was? And it was like one of the weird little filters, and it was just like of your food.
Yeah, this is what I'm eating today.
Yeah, we've come so far.
Yeah, totally. But I was like, oh man, like the way she takes photos and the way like she tells a story is just so captivating. So that's when I first learned about you, but like we didn't know each other yet.
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that, because and I think Katie, because she made like an introduction in a way, but like she did both of our hair. It just goes to show, like, as a stylist, how important it is to have relationships with other stylists, because that's literally the secret. There it is. That's the secret to like growth and learning new things as a stylist. It's not just going to the classes, but it's meeting other stylists and like meeting their friends and who they know. Because I met Katie from just talking about extensions online. Like she reached out to me, never met before, was like, hey, I saw you're taking this extension training. What did you think? Which created a conversation. And then she ended up doing my hair because we were learning in class together. And then you somehow also found her. And then she was like, my friend Ashley owns a salon. And like, it's just so funny how all these things happen. And while you were following my Instagram, I was following yours. And this is back when you were at Malva, I think originally. And even then I remember thinking you had such a beautiful, like, style. Like your suite was so pretty. Like it was the best one I had seen. Like you had some like latticey wood cool thing above the bowl, and I was like, I don't think I'd ever want to work in like a salon suite environment until I saw yours, and I was like, wow, she made that so cute. Like I could totally work there. And this is before I owned a salon, so like it's just so funny how like all these things happen.
Funny, I love it.
I was like I loved, and you're talking my social media, but I was totally looking at yours like, wow, this is so beautiful, it's so pretty. I think were you working with your sister?
Yeah, my sister, she was at first assisting me. She was my first assistant actually. And yeah, we were in that suite, and it's funny, like, because clients, like, they lay back and they look up at the ceiling and they'll always comment on whatever it is that's up there. And at the time, like, I had no control over like anything else, but in my room, I was like, I want to put something pretty up that they can like look at. And so that was the hardest part about leaving there, is like, I'm not gonna have my pretty little wood feature.
It was so cute. Like it made you stand out though. Like it really did. Like you're sweet. Like it stood out to me even back then. And you had, I think, met Katie she worked there too. Right?
Yes.
At one point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's like I love too that you bring that up, because it's like we're taught to like go and network to like find like other clients that we are to serve, like in our chairs and all that stuff. But it is truly like so powerful to like network within your net worth of people that are inside of your industry, because you just never know like how you can like lean into each other's worlds and like help each other in rising, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so when I first started, I think I talked about this possibly on our last episode, but I worked in literally like I didn't work with any other stylist. I immediately after high school went to beauty school, and then I worked with my mom and her, like, it was a home salon. So if she did nails, I did hair. So like I didn't work with another stylist. So I didn't have like a mentor in my space at all. And like truly didn't even know any stylists. And so I, like little baby 20-year-old stylist me, was so determined to like meet other stylists. And I did it just like through Instagram. Like I know so many local stylists, and it's so funny because it's not even from when I became a salon owner. It's from before, when like that was just my number one goal. And I'm so glad that I was so brave back then and had the energy and the time to do it. Because now I'm like, oh my gosh, that was good for me. I was really putting myself out there. I was DMing people. I was booking appointments with other stylists, like willing to pay, be the client, because I wanted to just like learn from them. And like, not just like, not in a creepy way, like, what do you watching? It was like just asking them questions and like, where do you go for education? Like, where did you learn how to do this?
Yeah.
In fact, what's funny is, so the client right now in the salon, who's getting her hair done by one of my stylists, I've known her for 11 years, and she was my first stylist in Oregon, and I was a stylist. I found her on Instagram. I thought she was so incredible, so good, that I was like, I need to meet her. And so I booked an appointment with her, and she became my client, and I've known her for 10 years. And she's such an amazing like resource. I still ask her questions today. Like, she's in the industry like 20 more years than me, and I still ask her for advice today. And like, she's still here in my salon. It just goes to show that like it's worth every conversation.
Absolutely. Well, and it's like lean into curiosity and like see like how can like one time I was on a walk with my son, and he was like asking me all these questions, and then he was like, I'm so sorry that I'm curious. And I'm like, don't ever be sorry for being curious. Like, always be curious, always wonder, because like you don't know what could be like opening up to you, or like opportunities that you are exposing yourself to like through that curiosity, and like where you can learn to grow and where other people can learn to grow. Like, I mean, you used to do my hair, and I love sitting in your chair. I just felt like so pampered the entire time. And we would just like have so many like conversations together about like salon ownership and like helping each other, and like what was working, what wasn't working, and all of those things. And it's like so much power comes through conversation,
Yeah.
being open to share,
Yeah. Being open to share, and being open to like putting yourself out there. Because I feel like, especially with Instagram, and this was funny, because my thing that I love to share with stylists and salon owners is like the power of social media, like not overcomplicating it, like connecting online. But because of social media, like, we're so brave behind our phones, but then when we're actually like in a room with someone, we're so like terrified to have a conversation. Like, it's I think, whether you want to admit it or not, I think a lot of us like have gotten so used to like talking to the camera, but actually being in front of someone, it's intimidating. Yeah. So like, just reminding yourself, like, the phone, the social media is a great tool, but like the point is to be social on it. It's like, it's beyond. I mean, this is even just as a stylist, like, sharing your work is one thing, but like talking to people is what the goal is. That's the whole point.
Yeah, totally. Well, and it's like, it's the whole post and ghost. Like, you don't want to do that.
Yes.
You want to interact, and you want to create conversations and lean into curiosity. And like, also when you're on social media, like, you're being your most authentic self. Like, you don't want to just like be putting on a show, and then when people meet you in real life, it's like two different people.
Yes.
It's like showing them who you are and how you serve and what you stand for and what's important to you and how you're aligned and unique. there's so many layers to it that when you start looking into, I feel like, social media that way and not so much trying to be somebody else or put on a show or a facade, because that is exhausting. But like when you're yourself, you're like, I'm on fire, I'm ready to go, I got so much I want to say, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy when it's real.
Right, exactly, when it comes from like your truth, right?
Yeah.
I love that so much. And like, you know, it's wonderful what I've seen for you, because I've seen you like own this space of like sharing your testimonies and growing on social media and like speaking to clients and working within like your network in the industry. And now like as a salon owner and a leader, like I see you doing this in the way of leadership when it comes to your teams.
Mm-hmm.
So what has that kind of felt like for you, like as an owner helping them?
You know, I love it. I think if you want to get really good at anything, right, what do? You teach it. The more you talk on it, the more like you just get better. Like I love teaching extensions because I get better at extensions. Like it's like it validates, like, see, I do know what I'm doing. And it's the same thing when it comes to like training your team on, you know, for example, like social media, putting yourself out there. Like today on our team call, I introduced like these little we're calling them private invitations, and it's like these little think of it like a gift card, but it's not, but it's something that I want them all to have like in their car at all times. And if they meet that person in the coffee line that they see every other day, they're always talking to, they're like, where are you going? Oh, off to work. Oh, you work at a salon? Like we all have that conversation. Like here is something you can give them to bridge the gap, to create like let's take the next step in this and have like some real life in person like networking beyond just like you know, DM me for an appointment, link in bio, because it's only gonna like get us so far.
Right.
It works, but like what else can we do in person? Because like it does better. Like if someone did that to me, I would for sure want to go see them, because people don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But things like that, like having them, like teaching them the importance of some of the old school things that I feel like aren't as talked about anymore, and the importance of like the connection and the building of relationships, and not just the influencing type of stuff online. But that's been huge within just like leadership with the team, is just like creating inspiration for new ways of doing things that are more personal and conversational than I feel like we typically see.
Right. And it's just outside, it's just different. It's like outside of what the industry has said, like, is like, check the box, you did your post, you're good to go. Like, that's it. It's like challenging those industry norms and like figuring out like, how can you be different? How can you shine differently? How can you, you know, almost like stand out in your market in a way that's authentic, you know, to you. And sure, like being authentic and like growing in different ways, like can feel uncomfortable at times. But that's good thing. Like if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. You're just staying stagnant, or you're going the opposite way, which we do not want. And so I love that. I love seeing you like as a leader rising and thinking like critically and in ways that are different, and mentoring your team that way. And then also how you show up on social media in a way that's authentic. But again, it's not like hopping on the trends, right? It's setting your own trend and what feels aligned for you.
Yeah. And I understand where like that's not something you learn overnight. I mean, here I am, I'm on year 11. You know what I mean? Like I was on Instagram, like when we were posting pictures of our coffee, and it evolved over time and I got better at it. But it is like, it's a skill that you have to learn. And the hardest part is just when trying, you know, being authentic online, especially, or just even in your business. The hardest part is ignoring that little voice that's whispering, you know, cringe, it's cringy, or it's you're asking for too much, you're trying too hard. I know I have a couple girls that in the past were, previous experiences, they were scared to show up online because other people in the industry told them like, oh, you're trying very hard. Why are you trying so hard? And it's like, well, because I should try hard. I want clients, I want business. Like, what do you mean? Why are you not? But like, that is crazy. Like, it sounds crazy to us because we're so like 45,000 steps in a different direction. Like, of course I'm trying hard. This is what I do, and I'm passionate about it, and I want to try hard. But there are many, many stylists, especially younger stylists, with like the way social media is now and how it's very like less is more, and like mystery is, appealing, that they're so like their inner, that little voice is just like really, really hard for them. And that's the biggest thing I've learned with my team is like, you got to circle back to it often, and that's okay. Like, you can't get frustrated. It's like, it's something we just will circle back to this always, because the little voice is not going away for a long time, if not ever. It doesn't go away, but you have to learn how to overcome it. And that takes training and time and practice.
Totally. Reps.
Yes. Lots of reps.
Yeah, totally. And it's hard when, especially in the industry, when someone like wants to try. I see it a lot where there's other people that will try to keep you small so that way they stay big in their minds. But in my opinion, we all shine brightest when we decide to just shine together. And like, if like my goal, I've always said with Heal the Industry is like, if we could just all get on the same page, like, that would be great.
That would be great in a lot of situations in the world. If we could all just get on the same page.
Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly. Because like, I can say, from what you've built, from what I've built, what I've been so blessed to like see others be able to build is, I remember when I told my dad that I was going to be a hairdresser. I remember he just had worry over him. Like, oh, it's going to be so hard. Or, like I wanted something different for you. I wanted something better for you. But like, if he was here today, I don't think he would have thought that on that day that this is what could have been created. Otherwise, he probably would have taken it all back. And I believe in like the opportunities that I create for my stylists, the opportunities that I witness you create for your stylists is going against the industry norms and is going to create the conversations with young women and men that decide to become hairdressers one day, to be able to go to their parents and say, I want to be a hairdresser. And then they'll be like so stoked and excited for them because of the opportunities that have been created through doing things differently and challenging the industry norms to build it to a standard to what we've been able to create.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I remember my first couple of years, or even in school and after I'm working, I'm literally like, I have my license, I'm in career mode, and still even clients saying, because the schooling I did, we got an associate's. It was through like, you had an associate of applied science, which was cosmetology. So it's through the community college. So I had like college credits. Never used them, but I'm glad I did it because there's some cool classes. It scratched that itch for me of like being on campus. But I had people say every time I told them like, oh, I went through my, that community college, I have an associate's degree. They were like, oh, good. So if you, when you don't want to do hair anymore, you have some schooling to fall back on, or like, oh, so you have a degree for like when you want to go back to school. Like I'm taking like a European vacation or something. I'm like, what are you talking about when I want to go back to school? Like, I'm done. I am done. Like any schooling I choose to do now is something that I'm signing up for myself. That's like for this career, not for another one. You will not catch me in math ever again, but you will catch me in like extension classes and business classes, and but you will not catch me there. But it's just funny because we're set up by so many opinions that like our career is one specific thing and it can only go so far. And it's so hard even like to change that mindset, even with some girls that we have coming out of school in their apprenticeships, like they don't even see their own potential because there's so many people in their lives saying these things to them. Like, this is a part-time kind of thing. And I'm like, oh no, it's not. This is full. This is it. This is your career now. Like, you're here. If you're here, this is your career. Like, whatever other job you have, that's your side job now. And like, it's very important that you think of it that way. Like, I'm a hairstylist, and maybe for a while I'm building, I work part-time over here, but I'm a hairstylist. Like, that's first when you introduce yourself.
Right.
But it's hard. It's hard when so many people are saying one thing, but
right.
That's my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite part of leadership is like breaking that mindset. And it's going to happen again and again. And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the day I don't have to do it anymore. I'm hoping that happens, but I do enjoy helping them.
You're like, I'm down to do it. I look forward to not having to do it, but I'm down to do it. I'll do it. I'll rise to the occasion if the occasion calls me to.
Yes.
I love that. I love it so much because it's great. I mean, really, our industry, I feel like it's such an amazing, like, best kept secret of like, you can have the life that you want. Like, you can design your career here however you want it to be. Not to like, I mean, okay, I'm going to use an example of like a banker, right? Like, it just is what it is. You work those hours, you come in, your day looks like standard operation, like, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with being a banker. I'm grateful for my local banker. She is awesome. I would be lost without her. But if you're somebody who doesn't want to be put in a box of this is what your career looks like, and you want to be able to, work part-time and be a mom full-time, like, you can still have a successful career with that. You can be a full-time like artist behind the chair and go home at night with your families and be connected and be able to clock out and have clear boundaries. Like, you can have that. Like, you can be crazy like us and become owners and decide like, we're going to help people and break those like industry standards and set new standards and be met with the resistance of change, but be down for the ride, you can do it. You can be whatever you want to be, and it be success that's defined by you, which I love. I love that about our industry so much. It like makes me feel like we're just the luckiest out there.
Yeah. And I feel like in order to do that, like, you just need to get clear and like be very intentional with what that looks like for you. And that's I feel like it's hard. Again, I'm gonna say back with social media and just what I've observed with my team and with my newer stylists is that like, not everyone's version is going to be your version, and that's okay. Like, what is it that you want? Because it's so easy to compare ourselves to all these other people. The best thing that ever happened to me when I was in school, I never forget, and I wish I saved it, but you finish school and you're like, throw everything away, get rid of all these dull heads, like, you get rid of them,
on fire,
burn them, but oh god, I think we actually took ours like a shooting range. Isn't that terrifying? We were like,
I did that too.
You did. It's dark, but that's what we did. We did that. Oh my gosh, we're happy to do it. Yeah. But my final like term, they had me write out like my 1-year plan, my 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, like very detailed, like a whole page. Like, where are you? What does it look like? What's your daily life look like? And I remember that day, I remember filling that out and being like very intentional. And I was so like, I mean, I had the best motivation of like, I wanted to be independent so bad. And I had such a great setup at home. Like, I cannot complain. I had a great setup, but I just like watched Friends a lot. I wanted to be Monica Geller. Like, I want my own apartment. That's just what I wanted. I want my own apartment. I want to pick out my mugs. Like, I was so excited for those things. I want to pick out my mugs and my towels. Like, that was my motivator. And I just remember like mapping out everything so that I could get my own place, and I want to do this by this age, and I want to have my own house by this age, and I want to own my own salon. And like, I mean, I just was mapping this stuff out. And it's so funny because when you start thinking that way with those goals, like I checked my things off. I mean, I think my 10-year was to open a salon. And I remember what year I was, and I did, 4 years ago. So before then, But like it took, I mean, once you know where you're going, it's almost like, okay, and fill in the blanks to get there. But if you don't have that end goal, it feels it's very lost, and it's hard to keep your motivation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you're just wandering around aimlessly with no direction. Like, I mean, I remember like back in the days of like the MapQuest directions. Oh, and like printing out the papers.
Oh my God.
Like,
I remember my dad printing out all of our directions and the arguments in the front seat. Like I'll never forget it, like printing out the movie theater tickets and like
totally. It was so bad. I remember one time my sister was in my passenger seat, and every single turn that we would make, I would have to like turn around and go back to do it again. And she's like, can we make one turn without having to turn around? And I'm like, listen, I'm doing the best I can with what I got. But like, what happened? Like, technology advanced, and we got navigation in pretty much all of our cars now. And so I can turn on par, on point. And all I have to do is enter the address, like what is your destination, and it will give you the roadmap to get there the quickest, the easiest. If you want to avoid things like tolls or highways, you can do that. It might take you a little longer, but you know, if you're down for a crazy scary ride and you want to get there quicker, there's the path. But I love that about being so intentional with the direction it is that you are going, because then, yeah, you're not wandering around aimlessly, like unsure of what direction is you're going, just trying to see like if you'll land there, right? Versus like if you have a roadmap to help place you there, you'll get there 10 times faster.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And at 20 years old, my MapQuest was community and other stylists and finding people to mentor with and learn from. Like that was my MapQuest to get there, because they've done it. They know what to avoid, what to do. I mean, I have such a good example while on the topic of when we met. I'm trying to remember the first time. I know, obviously, I mean, you did lots of extension training together. We bunked together. I have a hard time. It was like you just appeared in my life and we were already like sharing a hotel room. Like, I don't remember that before. I don't remember the first time meeting you. It's like I'm sitting here this whole time like, when was that? I don't know. I just remember like there we were sharing a hotel room together at a class. Like we must have it just happened. And but I do remember at a convention we were at together, and we had gotten our hair done for it. And I remember you had like this 1950s like hairstyle, and you were in this like white dress, and we were standing there, and you were the one, we were talking about taxes, and I was like, fellow salon owner, I'm a new salon owner, I am just getting killed in taxes. Like I'm like, is this even worth it? It's like anything I'm making, I'm like handing right back. Like, what's going on? And here I am at an education event, and like we're not talking about that topic. And so I'm like lost. And I remember talking to you and about it for whatever reason. I was like, taxes help me. I was like, who do you work with? I need help. And you gave me your reference, who I still use, by the way. Like my bookkeeper, I'm like, I don't know what I was doing before I had my book. And these tax people, they had my taxes filed like the first week of January. They were emailing me like, get your stuff in before the end of the year. I was like, hold on, guys, it's still December. Give me a minute. They're amazing. And you know, I found them through you. Yeah. And then you're the one who told me about like, I needed to be an S-Corp, like from where I was. Like that was the big click, because I was still operating as like sole proprietor. And so the self-employment tax in Oregon, if you know, it's crazy. Yeah. And that change, which I did through them, and then I switched to them to do my books and my taxes, that changed everything. Like that was the big hurdle I was having as an owner. That was like make or breaking me want to continue this, because I was just like, I don't know where to begin. And it's so funny because you could break it down and be like, all I need to do is find a accountant online, book a consult with them. Like I could have done that. But to have someone who's in your community, who's in your industry, going through that, has been through it, to be able to give you like this direct referral is the most priceless thing that I could have ever gotten, because they knew exactly what to do and they just like jumped right in. And like that helped everything for me. I mean, the past 2 years, like I've actually gotten a return. It's incredible. I haven't gotten a return ever. I mean, ever. I actually enjoy doing taxes now. The past maybe 3 years. Like I enjoy it now. I'm like, all right, let's go. And it's just incredible. Like that, again, it's so important to have people that you or have been through what you're doing that you can talk to. And I'll never forget that moment. It was like flashing lights and you're in your 1950s get up and your dress and you're like, taxes. And I was like, oh, heaven's gates are opening behind you. Because that was like such a struggle. I was struggling with it at that point. I felt so discouraged.
Oh yeah, totally. Totally. And like a lot of people feel that way, but it's like almost like, you know, it's like a sense of pride to not want to talk about the things that we're actually struggling with. And so then we struggle internally and we feel alone in that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that way. You know, you can lean into people who genuinely want to see you win. Because if you win, then they like, if we could just, again, all get on the same page and just decide that we're going to rise together, like our industry would just like shine so bright. People who need sunglasses to like look at us. You know, but it's so important to like lean into community and find those who have been where you were at and like can help. Because I remember at that time, like I didn't have anybody or anything telling me. I just knew that it was like, this can't be right. This has to be wrong. And then I found that bookkeeper just by like looking up and scheduling a consultation with them. And then through like leaning into that curiosity, I was able to create like opportunities for other people. Like it's the best. And so, you know, that's something that I love. And same like with you, like you lean into curiosity of things like when it comes to social media and leadership, that's like, I wonder if I do this, like if it could create a new opportunity, you know, to be able to help people who don't even know if it's a possibility, you know, for them.
Yeah.
And I love that so much. And, you know, with creating Heal the Industry and like the community that we have and like the podcast and everything, like just being like humble and being honest, is I honestly, God showed me this vision of like Heal the Industry. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a tall order. that feels really big, but like I'm big on being obedient, you know. But I was like, honestly, for quite a long time, like just dipping my toe in obedience, like the little bit of the pool of like, okay, I'll do it. But not actually doing it, because to say like that my desire is to like heal an industry, it's pretty bold statement. And if like I'm honest with myself, and I have been multiple times, is that the thing that kept me stuck from really pursuing this and really getting it out there and starting to implement this change that I just so desperately want for our industry is I had zero desire to do it alone. I don't want to do it alone. I want people alongside of me. Like I want people who are like, yes, like I am on board. I believe things need to change. I want to be a part of that change. Like I see it. And so, so then I was like, you know, I wonder if I just like go for it and I open myself up, like what could happen. And that like leads me to this really exciting announcement, is that Abigail is going to be inside of Heal the Industry, because I could literally cry. I'm so excited. She wants to be a part of it. You know, she wants to come alongside and be a part of that change and challenge the industry norms and just create that like healing in places where people feel stuck and they feel in the dark and they feel alone and they don't have a roadmap. And leaning into that community, I'm just so grateful for you, Abigail. I'm so excited for what we're going to be doing together. And so
I'm so excited. I'm so excited because actually I am like one of your biggest fans. Like I have been a follower of Heal the Industry since it was just like your little baby idea. Like I remember I was there. Like, I remember when you had just started like thinking about this, you started the podcast. Like, I remember being on vacation at the beach when my son was like an infant and he's in a stroller, and I was walking in like 6 a.m. listening to Heal the Industry, and just like, it was just the best. And being a part of your journey with this, like watching you evolve and like really, really just get clear on like this whole movement. Like, I was so excited that you asked me, because I'm just like, put me in, because I love, you know me, I love any opportunity that I can talk to other stylists and like help them, and like be the person that we've talked about this before, be the person that I wish I had when I was in that position. Because like I said, where I started, like, I was in a little home salon by myself. I didn't have another stylist to look up to. I didn't have anyone to ask questions to. Like, I had to just go find this stuff and spend a lot of money on masterminds and all kinds of things. And I'm so glad that I did. But wouldn't it be nice to have people who are there to help you, who've been through it, who have good intentions, and who want to make the changes that are needed, so that way the future generation of stylists can just start off on a better note and just be more respected. They feel just happier, more content with what they're doing. They can have the life that they want, and that we can just let all these things go along the way. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Happy.
So excited. Honestly, I remember too when you would go on those walks and listen to the podcast, and you would like tag me that you were like listening to it while you're walking. And I was like, oh my goodness, like someone's listening.
Woo! There's me.
Like, I love it. I love it so much. Like, your support has meant so much to me, like over the years of like our friendship. And, you know, every time you and I have gotten together and like we're just talking, like, it's just so easy and natural because our hearts are so aligned with like, we just want to see people win. Like, that is like, we love it so much. We would do whatever to just like help see people be free from the painful places that we had to walk through alone, or that we had to discover along the way. And like, to be able to paint a picture of like, no, this is possible, and this is an opportunity for you. And these are the steps that you take to get there. Like, no guess, no check, just like this works. And I'm just so excited. And I'm so honored, and I cannot wait for people to get to like have conversations and lean in and learn from you, because you are a wealth of knowledge. And like, when Abigail's like in flow on things that she's passionate about, you're like leaning in closer to the camera, and you're taking more notes, and you're like, oh my God, yes. Like, it's so great, because like, we as humans, like, we can complicate things, and you are so good at breaking things down in a way that it's like digestible, it's actionable, and it's not overwhelming. It's exciting, because honestly, you're so excited about it. It's like alluring.
I get very excited about these things. You can tell when I'm passionate about the topic, but exactly, like, that's breaking it down. I think it's because I do get so excited and like passionate about these topics that I have to break it down. So what can I do right now? Because otherwise I'm going to go crazy because I want to get started. So it works for me, and it can, I'm happy to share.
Totally. Like, you're so good at like staying tactical. I'm like word vomit. Like, I want to get great. I have to have my slides and my prompts to keep me focused on being tactical, because I'll just like, what? It's like, whoa. But I am so excited. So share with some of our listeners, like, what things that they can come to expect to be learning from you inside of Heal the Industry.
So my two like primary focuses that I just love sharing about, and I just feel like I'm able to just provide the most impact in other salon owners and stylists, not just owners. Honestly, a lot for stylists too, but it's going to be social media, and it's not going to be like creating like just trendy content. It's geared towards breaking it down so you can keep up with it, so that you can attract, yes, your dream clientele, so you can show yourself online in a way that represents your brand as a whole, but also so you can schedule it in keep it bite-sized, but having content that actually turns into clients in your chair that you connect with. Like, that's my world right there. That's what I'm so passionate about. And showing up as your authentic self online and overcoming the mindset that we talked about, that little voice. The other, I mean, I love talking about leadership. I love talking about just things that I wish I had, things that I do in my business, ways to inspire your team. I know that from having even like one, if you're a stylist, you just have one employee to start, you have one assistant, and you're trying to build them, you're trying to help them. Not so much, there's plenty of things out there that will teach you how to teach them how to do hair. That's not what I'm going to teach. I like teaching you how to lead them without doing it for them. How to teach them how to get where they want to go and keep yourself motivated and aligned along the way, keeping your boundaries strong, but also, helping you step into leadership in a way that feels good and that you can sleep well. So those are two tough things. That's what I struggled with at first. And yeah, just like leadership, just as a whole, motivating your team, especially when it does come to social media. How can you, you're like me, you're an owner, you're passionate, you're excited. It comes a little bit easier for us. How do I give my team something and keep them motivated and keep the culture in the salon happy along the way? Those are my topics that I'm very passionate about, amongst many.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this because it's hard, like I know for myself, as a salon owner, it is so true. Like I see the vision. I get so excited to get on social media. I have a million ideas, and it's hard to then take that inspiration that comes so naturally and like inspire your team to show up in a way that not necessarily is to like the same level, but show up in some sort of level and capacity consistently. And also, like I'll say too, something like if you haven't already followed Abigail on Instagram, I hope that you would go do that. Go follow her salon, go follow all of her artists. The cool thing that I see is that all of your artists are so uniquely different. You guys are an amazing team, but you all have powerful positions, and each of them are positioned in alignment with what is true to them. And on social media too, how that translates is it still is a consistent brand, but their own authentic voice and their own authentic like alignment, which I love, because I could be scrolling and I'm like, oh, yep, that's an L Society girl. Yep, that's an L Society girl. Like, I don't even have to see the handle to know, because the branding is consistent, but their voices are authentic. And I love that so much.
Great feedback. Love to hear that.
Woo-hoo, mission accomplished. So, okay, well, I'm so excited. And when is your first call?
My first call is next Monday. So every Monday, I'm in Oregon, so Pacific Standard Time at 10 a.m.
Yes. And this podcast is going to air next Monday. So that'll actually be the day of your first call.
That's okay. Get you next week and watch the replay.
Yeah, totally. Yes, they are recorded and they live inside of the community as well. So with wanting to become and be a part of this community, my intention when creating it is I didn't want it to be some big expensive thing that puts people in a predicament, but also I believe like you have it. If you pay for something, you have your own money into it, you just show up differently than the free things, right? Like if it's up to Abigail and I, like we love what we do so much and believe in it so much that we would do it for free, but want that commitment of like coming to the calls, take the action steps, start to see the transformation. But I wanted to make it so affordable that like assistants could do it, stylists could do it, salon owners could do it. They could purchase it for their team. Like, so the cost of entry into the community is just $97 a month. Very, very affordable. But also that there is that commitment that you're going to show up because you've invested into it. I know for myself and Abigail, like we've invested tons of money into things, but like when you have invested, like you just show up differently.
Yeah.
And so,
absolutely. And then honestly too, with the calls, like I love that the calls are in there. So if you miss one, you can go back and you can watch it, you know, take notes, you can listen to it like almost like a podcast. But I will say, like how we started this conversation with the community aspect, when you're on the calls live and you can ask questions and you can be involved and meet other people and listen to other people's questions and add your own value, like that, like we we're saying, that's your map quest to get to where you want to be. Watching the replay is great. You might still get it, but I think you're going to get there a lot quicker if you are able to be live. So I've done a community before, and I've just found, even as a student myself, being on the calls has so much more value.
Yes, totally. And like being so present, like cameras on, sitting down at a desk, like have your cup of coffee, pen and paper, like because we're very actionable teachers, and like I love that we like create space for like your own discoveries and journaling and consideration and thinking of things like on your own accords as well is so important. And we post like weekly challenges in the community as well, get feedback. We're very intentional with like what it is that you guys are like seeking also. So I'm very excited about this. I cannot wait for your first call officially next Monday, but when this launches, it'll be like your launch day, which is so exciting.
What an exciting day. So much to talk about on my Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. So many marketing pillars to go into.
So much. Love it. It's going to be easy Monday next week for me. I can't wait.
It's going to be awesome. Well, guys, so if you guys are like, I want to do this, like, I want to be a part of this, I no longer want to be wandering around alone. Like, I want to get in community and be a part of this change that we're doing inside to heal the industry. I will have a link in the show notes. Abigail on her Instagram, she has a link in her bio. I have one in mine. We got one on Heal the Industry. There's links everywhere, guys. Abigail, if our listeners aren't currently following you, where can they find you?
Instagram, abigail.lsociety. And then my salon is L Society PDX if you want to see everybody's content that Ashley was talking about.
Yeah, it's so on brand. I love it so much because I can see too, like as a leader, how you have just stewarded your stylist so well. And it just shows on the feed. So good job. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, we're excited. We hope you're excited. And we will see you inside the Heal the Industry community.
Yay.
Bye.